Of course NBN cares about the truth. Just make sure it's the right kind of truth. Today I wanted to do some theory crafting, mainly because we don't really have a big box. The really powerful cards came out of the core set. You know, you had Account Siphon, you had Hedge Fund, Pad Campaign. I don't know if you consider that a powerful card, but it's definitely a very good card. Cards like All of Static, a very efficient card. You've got an Astroscript and Parasite, to name a few. Right, let's have a look again, shall we? So this is the Genesis cycle. Let's have a look at the increase in power. Oh god, I thought it was only just there. Now mandatory upgrades, I feel that that should have been a power card, but it wasn't because of, I think that could have been a 5-3 and that would have been fine. Or even a 5-2 and that would have been fine. But the only real increase in power in the Genesis cycle was the 2-3. Again, I thought that's a very general increase. Eli, a very general increase, because I think it just needed more influence. 4 influence, 5 influence for that one, and that card would have been fine, because HB should be that difficult to get into. That's how Glacier works. You got Ash, another 2-3, and starting to get the consistent net damage on. Consistent net damage. Okay, NBN got their second 2-3, which gave a really big pump in power level. Got mid-seasons replacements. Again, these are power spikes, but not very big ones. Fuck me. You got Project Atlas, a 2-3 from Wayland. Wow, Genesis was not kind to Wayland. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so you can see that already. There were a few spikes in there, a few cards that would generally give a general increase in power. And you can see how they were favored there, because HB and Criminal were strongest in the beginning, and it took a while for them to catch up. Now let's have a look on the runner side. Vamp is a good card, but not Wizard is a good card, but not powerful till later on. Imp is a good card, but not powerful by itself. You got Scrubber and you got Liberated Accounts. Anarch still felt very anarchic back then. And now Criminal. Criminal was the go-to in the beginning of the game, because you got a Mercy Shutdown, very powerful card. Expose was, I thought they felt it's supposed to be powerful, but it really wasn't, because after a while you could almost work out for yourself what was going on. E3 Feedback, that's quite powerful against Biroids. You got HQ Interface, you got Andromeda, you got Fairy, you got Mr. Lee. Yeah, see how many power cards you got in just that short space of time. Not to mention all the power cards that were in the core set. Again, very powerful. Okay, shape ahead, indexing, text run, quality time. So they were the second go-to R&D interface. You did get Dinosaurus Mimic later on. Personal Workshop. Okay, it wasn't that as bad as Criminal was, and HB had some. Neutral cards, you got the Plascrete there, and you got the Catty Jones. So it's not as bad. See, again, I want you to bear this in mind. I want you to see the general tone there. everything there was a small general increase in power. Again, HB gets no real general increase in power. There are very specific increases in power. Very specific and targeted. Because everything's really conditional. Nothing that could just stand alone as powerful. I mean, Gila Hands was used outside in Jinteki a lot to get money. And like I said, Kit did get the Dinosaurus Yogg for a moment there. But the only real power card here, I believe, Ash is a power card, Scavenge is a power card, Lab's a power card, Clone Chip is a definite power card. I suppose you can argue Atman as well, Atman Data Sucker to get through pretty much anything. And self-modifying code, professional contacts. You got the dirty laundry there for criminal, and you got the daily cast, which is mainly used by Anox. And same old thing. So you got some real power cards on the runner side there. HB, no real spikes so far. You start seeing the next dice, but it doesn't really seem to be getting you anywhere. Blue level clearance is nice, but again, nothing here is generally powerful. All the stuff here seems to be targeted for something. And notice how HB doesn't seem to be getting the economy cards. You'll see this as I go through the cycle. You see how Jinteki starts getting economy cards. Sanju starts getting more efficient. Brace for net damage for shock. Multi-strength, multi-sub sentries. It gets Celebrity Gift, which really increases the power because this is a generally powerful card. Anything that has Celebrity Gift, it just really helps a lot. Gets you money, but again, the influence cost, anything that stops it from being splashed a lot. And Caprice Nisei, again, that increases the power of Glacier really heavily. And let's not forget the false god, Jackson. I don't use Jackson, Howard. Jackson's for wussies. Guess that's why I lose all the time, but there we go. But again, a general increase in power level of Jackson Howard there. Again, and you'll notice that most of these power cards are in Jinteki and NBN. Sweep. Come on. So Jinteki gets Celebrity Gift and NBN gets Sweep. Okay, sure, HB got blue level clearance, but this is going to give you 4 credits and more because of Andy, and this is giving you a net worth of around 7 credits because that's how people use it. So NBN gets effectively the second hedge fund, and Jinteki gets double hedge fund in the form of double. HB gets 3 credits, which is effectively a Beanstalk royalties with card draw, but again, it's still not necessarily enough. Okay, Wayland does get some other cards, but nothing really flexible. Again, they're very spiky, so this kind of gets you money, but you have to advance it to put lots of effort into it. And yeah, Wayland gets cleaners, but again, you put lots of effort into it. All these cards require... they're very specific and moderated. And they tried to give Wayland some good cards here with Swarm and Hive. Apparently they were much more powerful than they were in their current forms. But there we go. Now, I will admit, Wayland does get some interesting cards here with Putative Counter-Strike and Power Shutdown. But again, these are very very focused, nothing generally powerful. Until we get some general power here for the corporation in the form of NAPD Contract and Grim. With bad publicity there working there, but again, NAPD Contract goes in pretty much any deck and just makes it a better deck. Grim is a very good way of trashing, very difficult to deal with in general, unless you're prepared for it. It's kind of neutered now, but still is a very good card. You get restructure, so if you've got money, you get more. Again, a general increase in power there. And now I go back to the runners. So runners get Reyna, which I love Reyna, she was my favorite runner. But nothing specific there. You get a win more card like Keyhole, which you'd need criminal things to take care of, but criminal things only not as long lasting as the Enoch stuff. Nothing stands out here really, except you start seeing some, what's it called? You start seeing some stealth breakers, but again, nothing truly stands out for criminal. This is where they start to lose power as other cards start gaining. Well, other cards are already gaining power at the moment. Sharpshooter's good. Lucky Find is okay, but no one thought to pair it with prepaid voice pads as of yet. I suppose this was good, but yeah, again, no one really found it yet. So, yeah, there you start to see how, in the beginning, all the cards I mentioned that were power cards were all generally powerful. There you start to see some cards that are just powerful along certain lines. They're very specific ways of being powerful. Very few cards were generically powerful. House of Knives, a very good Shinteki card. Phyllotic Entanglement, a very good card in general. Even in general, it's a 2/3. It's just good in general, and it does net damage good in general. And House of Knives, net damage good in general. Medical Clinic, credits good in general. Cerebral Cast, good in general, but doesn't see much play outside of kill. I suppose you could say Medical Research Fund is a good economy card, but they don't need it. Not with Celebrity Gift. Mushin Notion, good card. Kumainu, good card. Now let's have a look at the criminals. Legwork, good card in general. Security testing, good card in general. Now the biggest power thing out of this one was the central only breakers. That was a very specific increase in power. Actually, no, security testing is a very specific increase in power as well, because it's powerful on repeated runs. Excellent criminal economy there. Oh, there's going to be more specific increases in power rather than general. So Eliza's Toolbox, specific increase in power, resing stuff for using your clicks. IT department, investing clicks to get some net worth. Okay, I will admit Architect is a general increase in power there. You got more next dice, which is a very specific increase in power. You got if peak efficiency, very increase in power, very specific increase in power. You got enhanced login protocol, very specific increase in power there. Shigaru, Cerebral Static, Daily Business Show. NEH. That was just, See, that's a very big in general increase in power for NBN there. "17 influence though, why? Why would you do that?" Wayland here gets Blue Sun, and all of a sudden all those big ice, now it makes sense. It's like, oh, okay, now I can actually do something with it. The rest of these cards here just represent other options. There's no really big power cards here. I mean, the Grail Ice was kind of good, I suppose. It can use that in NEH. But again, that's just the next ice in NEH was only general increased power. Everything else was very specific to a particular playstyle. Oh, David. Oh, this is where they start making Anarchs, giving Anarchs the power. And they got Leela, very good increase of power. Criminal. Oh, and Cash. Okay, Cash is a real general increase in power for the runner. Astrolabe, very specific increase in power. Ooh, Ghost Runner. That's a good one right there. Yeah. But again, the specific increases for factions there on the increase. It was like, so they got NEH was specifically tailored to NBN. You got Leela for Criminal. It's just lots of specific increases in power. Wayland gets nothing really that really truly boosts. He gets stuff that he can use, but the only thing really here is Traffic Accident. That's the only thing. The Traffic Accident and a general increase in power with the Cyber Decks. Everything else just seems to be far too specific to a type of build. Anarch gets Max and Valencia, and I've had worse, a very big increase in power there, generally for Anarchs. You got the Cutlery Suite, as well as Eater. Yeah, Anarch got a droid general background increase in power from this. Team sponsorship. Ginteker gets Cortex Lock. Oh, and they get Marcus Batty. Wow, they don't need that much power. And then an NBN gets Explodapalooza. Oh dear. Although, we'll admit, Wayland does get Oaktown renovation. Surprised there isn't more use of capital investors, but yeah. And Spider Muramati, that's quite good as well. But nothing, it's not as quite good efficient as the other ones though. HB gets Breakaway Grid, although even though it's a general card. Anarch gets Turntable, Clot, just a Chronotype, Faust, DDoS. So much power packed into one cycle. It's like Sansan should have just Sansan is for Anarchs. Oh, Street Peddler. Ironically, career fairs used mostly by Anarchs. I mean, here we've got Geist in the Break and Entrance suite, as well as Drug Dealer, but that's about it there. I suppose Shaper did get Haley, Chameleon, and Hyperdriver, but nah. Fansite doing some work, so Film Critic is a very powerful card for Shaper. Well, Wireless Net Pavilion was nerfed and put back into line there, so... Oh yeah, but in general, Factions got Symmetrical Visage. Oh, now look at MBN. It gets 15 minutes. Gets Newshound. Gets Resistor. Gets Archangel. Gets 24/7 News Cycle. Gets All Seeing Eye. Gets Keegan Lane. Well, everyone gets Global Food Initiative, which really helps out HB the most. Everyone gets Assassin. Runner gets Apocalypse. Occasionally Hunting Grounds. Occasionally Multi-Threader. I think Sunny was supposed to be the one that was promised, but it's not as powerful as everyone, not as simple to use as everyone thought it'd be. Okay, we got Advanced Shot Concept Hopper, which immediately gets taken over by Corporate Sales Team. Assembly Lines is good in specific builds. So is Clone Movement, so is Jeeves. Now, Vikram is a general increase of HB. So I would also cast Ravana as one of those. Magnet is specifically for the Anarch hate. Yeah. Genteka gets bioethics and the political thing in Palana. And Heritage Committee. Again, look at all those big jumps in power that Genteki and MBN got. Come on, he doesn't need those big jumps in power anymore. Seriously. Oh. I mean, Ibrahim Salem is okay because of the forfeit agenda. But look at this. Sensei Actors Union. That's just sick. Wather. Now Hashadra Ent. That's just powerful. Especially with Seam's Hospitality. Exchange of Information. Look at the power level on that. Is just through the roof. And it gets Navi grid. It doesn't need it. It doesn't need the thing to hold up Glacier. It just doesn't need it. It's just nasty. Okay. Whalen got Stock Exchange Union. I'll give them that. But because they have to include all this other stuff out of faction to get any kind of use out of it, and it's not as powerful as you'd like. But it does finally get Zealous Judge, which is nice. Commercial Bankers Group, you're gonna maybe get 2 credits out of it before it gets killed. City or Bank, interesting. Subcontract, interesting. Consulting Visit, interesting. Everyone gets Merger, but yeah. I mean, Surat City Grid would be good for HB Glacier, I imagine. Corporate Sales Team, good for everyone. Mumbai Temple, good for everyone. Museum History, good for everyone. Well, good for corporations at the very least. Vanilla, Cobra. To me, it's like they try to increase the power level for the corporation in general, but these won't do it by themselves. No, they're gonna need a bigger push. Especially if what the runner has. Seattle Slums. It's just these are all very specific counters to cards. Nothing here is just generally better. It's just all very specific and targeted. Yeah, Spy can just work out as a Geist and Tech Trader. Although I will admit, got Political Operative here, a very general power increase for Criminal there. Jasminda. Well, he's now Ankusa is good if you've got the power. Temple of Variant Mind gives you some more varied options, but not powerful in its own right. Okay, Artist Colony I like. I mean, specific counters, but when coupled with the Fan site being able to out stuff is nice. Corporate scandal Valencia doesn't really need it. Sports hopper is a good replacement for plascrete. Turning wheel is a very good increasing power, so is councilman. Again, the increase of power here, just not as big as it was before, but very specific, therefore all these things are very specific to faction. And again, they're trying to do it mostly on the corporate end. But they need to stop putting all these big power cards in Jinteki and NBN. So from what we see going onwards, well, what I like about what I see going on from Mumbad onto Damon now is you'll notice that while there are still factional increases in power, they can be more generalized. Now let's take system outage for example. Whenever the court draws a card, he loses 1 credit. That's like any hate there. It's like all corporations are going to be drawing cards. All corporations are going to be just losing credits like a mofo. So will it see much play outside of Anarch? Possibly not. But there are lots of different Anarch builds that can take advantage of it. Now, net tap is very specific. Hernandez is very specific. Mirror is very specific. Deuce is wild. Again, that's for more of the this is for more the prepaid voice pad. Injection attack, a very general increase in power there for Mick and everything else. Fairchild, that can go anywhere. That's just like another pop or pop-up window there. Can go in any faction. Sherlock, that's very good. Because you need more stuff that you need more program removal that you can't just click through as easily. This one you'll actually get a tag, which is quite nice. You got hard-hitting news. Now that's okay. That can go anywhere. That can go in Wayland quite easily. That can go in HB quite easily. This can go anywhere quite easily at 2 influence because it seems worth it. The difference between this and the C source is that the C source, you can just take the tag, get rid of it for 2 credits. They have to respond with it during the same turn. This, you could at the very least leave it because they have to make them lose their entire turn. And I don't mind spending some money to make they want to lose their entire turn. So it's like you can either go after this or go after the gender scored in my remote. So I like this. I like this design. It goes anywhere. A very, very big increase in power there. Not necessary for NBN because NBN can get those tags off any which way, so it doesn't really matter. They don't need this. But for everyone else, this is quite a good increase in power. Now, this NBN identity I want to have, well, it's got less influence, so while I'm still don't think NBN needs this powerful an ID, it's still nice to see it. Stock buyback. Wayland is getting some operational econ options here. I mean, it's still very conditional, like HB's ones are, especially. So you have to lose agendas to get your money. You can't do it first turn like you do with the celebrity gift or with the sweeps week, which is unfortunate. But you do have the Sandberg here, which does kind of make up for it. You see another increase in power here with null. That's just a really big increase in power there, because it's just lowering ice strength of ice. Imagine you're going to get rid of a lot of ice there. And you're seeing lots of one influence cards as well. You notice how many one influence cards there are here. So I have a feeling that this pack is going to be doing a lot of splashing. So that's quite good. So not only are... because one influence cards tend to be more general increase in power, because now you've got options. Having more options with this power level is quite good. Because look, you've got more money options here. You can trash cards. There's times when you can be like, screw it, I need the money. So I'll just trash my cards, get the money. So you could do liquidation into hard-hitting news. And I imagine all these here, look at all these one influence cards. So there's going to be lots of one influence cards you can use. And look at all these free influence cards here. And these free influence cards here are quite powerful. So I don't mind that. If you've got lots of splash for one influence cards coming out in pack 2, and lots of powerful effects for free influence, I don't mind splashing those. And especially if we're going to get more cards like hard hitting news, more cards like injection attack, more cards like Deuce's Wild. Again, you would have to pair that with the prepaid voice pad. But bear in mind, prepaid voice pad naturally has 0 influence, only because the most wanted list is on there. And if they're having lots of cards, if you take a look at Observe and Destroy, if they have lots of cards that rely on you having more than 10 credits, and if you got more than 10 credits, something happens to you, they can bring back prepaid Kate, because prepaid Kate was stupid rich. So imagine if you got a card that says, like, if at every increment of 10 influence, if you have this card in your score, it's worth how many more agenda points for every increments of 10. So it's like a 0 3 agenda. So you put free, so maybe it's a MBN card, a 0-3 agenda. So it's free to advance it, 0 to score 0 points. But for every 10 credits the runner has, it's worth an extra point. What can prepaid Kate do against that? Seriously, you have to be really, really careful, because if you go up to 40 credits like prepaid Kate normally does, they're going to get 4 points. Madness. Yes, that's just the kind of madness that could happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this overview that I've given. And just before I let you go here, so the kind of cards I'm hoping for, these ones with this person named Luke on Netrunner Geeks. He's done some very nice cards here, and I love this. Choose an agenda. You can use this to blank Castro script, because what you need more options. More options, the better. It's just great. So you got another Wayland card here. I thought this should be terminal, because again, someone also noted that you could pair this with Election Day. So you could trash like 5 cards from your hand, and then you could play this, and then all of a sudden you're up 8 credits. But the thing is, I like it that it still scales, so that's all very good. And you got my crappy card here, because my card was nowhere near as good as the other ones that Luke guy made. But see, mine's all over the place. It's like you can only place if you run an R&D, and it removes all counters from initiative tokens. So, and lots of the initiative agendas are the ones, the tokens like Astro Script, the HB one. There's a few Jinteki ones as well. But I thought like the corporation should get a benefit from this, so they can draw 1 card and gain 5 credits for each counter removed. So, but yeah, I mean, I tried to make it mine's far too specific, but the ones that the Stutt guy made is more general, because you can splash this out of anywhere. You can, I mean, all runners in corporations could splash this and use this, I guess. But there we go. It's just my opinion. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please talk to me about where you see the game going. Again, I'm just going over it. So hopefully we'll notice the increase in power going forward.